Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Now before we begin, I have to say a massive thank you as always to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and getting this gorgeous footage. Show Ryan some love down in the comments below, because without Ryan, this series literally wouldn't be possible. Also, if you are looking to pre-order either Wenwu or Shang-Chi, they are both up right now with toyswonderland.com. The link for that is down in the description below. Plus, they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. Now we'll be starting with Wenwu first, and then the figure preview video for Shang-Chi will be going up shortly after. Now what I really like about this specific figure is, let's be honest, he doesn't come with a ton of stuff. So to augment that and still give you bang for your buck, he comes with a ton of energy blast effects, which honestly makes me really happy. I hope that going forward, Hot Toys gives magical and energy type characters more effect pieces, because these right here show that Hot Toys know exactly how to make some pretty badass energy effects. Now he also does come with, of course, an array of hands. They're all uniquely sculpted for this specific figure, and they also do have longer cuffs to the gloves, so they very nicely cover up the wrist pegs. More on that in just a second. He also has these swap out forearm pieces. Now I was speculating as to how the 10 rings will actually go onto his forearms. I was worried that you'd have to slide them down and scuff the paint up, but of course, Hot Toys being Hot Toys, they've taken a minute, they've sat down and they've thought about it, and they just said, to hell with it, let's just include a completely separate set of forearms that you just plug in. That way you're not going to be damaging anything in terms of snapping the rings themselves with the sheer force of trying to slide them onto the forearms, but also not scuffing the paint. So I personally am super happy with the swap out forearms. Now, in terms of energy effects, he comes with quite a few. This one right here is my personal favorite. It's the swooshing effect with the 10 rings, or I'm pretty sure it's only 5. You get one for each side, so 5 rings embedded within it. It's awesome. It has a really nice conveyed sense of motion here. I also like the subtle glittery metallic effect to the paint applications. Plus, the rings look great. I mean, if you tally up how many rings are coming in this set, you're getting a ton. I am curious if any of these can be detached and actually held by characters. I haven't seen the film yet, so I don't know if that's something that actually happens, but we'll have to wait and see when this guy eventually does come out. Now, of course, he also does come with the blasting effects. By the way, you'll see the opposite versions of these on the figure in just a second when we pan up, because on display at Secret Base, they've gone for one swooshing effect and one blast piece. That's probably what I'm going to be doing in my display. It makes him look incredibly dynamic. He also comes with the piece on the far right. It's kind of like the rings are being pulled apart. If you remember in the trailer, we do see Wenwu, aka the Mandarin, pulling 5 of the rings, and then on the other side we see Shang-Chi with a yellow energy effect pulling away the other 5. I would assume that's part of some climactic battle at the end of the movie and they're trying to separate the rings, and I would also assume that is one of the accessories that will be coming with Shang-Chi. But only time will tell, because with Shang-Chi, some of the accessories are yet to be revealed. As for the display base, super simple, a 10 rings logo up on top. It's got a blue translucent top piece as well, whereas Shang-Chi has a red one. Now, these boots make me so very happy. Y'all know I love a good split cut boot design, and while here from the side it does look a little bit unsightly, from front on, like right here, they look perfect. They look super seamless, but they are a split cut design, so you will be able to get a ton of range of motion here. These look eerily similar to the boots that were worn by the Hot Toys Daredevil and the Hot Toys Punisher. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some reused parts here, and I'm not mad at that at all. Those boots were fantastic, so too are these. Now, I'm also pleased to report that they've done another of my favorite things. They've used pretty much all fabric for the outfit. That means we'll be able to go crazy with our martial arts style poses and stances, and we don't have to worry about creasing or damage to outfits over time. This right here is right up there, in my opinion, with the likes of the homemade suit Spidey. I can only imagine how creative people can be with the freedom of being able to leave these figures, both this guy and Shang-Chi, hopefully, to a little bit of a lesser extent, mind you, in some crazy dynamic poses. And of course, to support that, we do have a dynamic flight pole on the base, because in the promo photos, we do see some aerial type of combat. They are jumping around, I would assume, so I think that would work quite nicely. I don't exactly know how I'm going to have mine, whether it's going to be on the ground or in the air, because another cool thing is, because the outfit is fabric, once again, we shouldn't have any damage from that waist clamp, either clamping onto his thigh or onto his waist. So pretty much all around good news. I also like the inclusion of the 10 rings logo on his belt. That's something I never noticed up until right now, but I really like that they included that. And then he does have a lot of straps and various bits and pieces hanging off his belt. I'm kind of getting Doctor Strange vibes. It's a very intricate outfit, but at the same time it looks deceptively simple, and I really like that. It's only under close inspection that you see, oh, actually, there are various parts and panels and different materials at play here, and there is a lot to look at, but just on the shelf, it's not going to be super overwhelming and distracting to the eye. It'll just work in pretty much most settings. So yes, I'm very happy with the way the figure looks. Now, I'm not the biggest comics connoisseur out there, so I don't know how close this is to an accurate look for this character in the comics. I do know this is supposed to be the Mandarin, not the same Mandarin from Iron Man 3, obviously, the faux Mandarin, who is also Trevor Slattery, aka Sir Ben Kingsley. Apparently, he's going to be making some kind of appearance, we don't know how big or small, mind you, in Shang-Chi. To me, that makes perfect sense. I can't wait to see him again on screen. I love Ben Kingsley, he's an amazing actor, and say what you will about the character of Trevor Slattery, he is at the very least a little bit funny, so let's wait and see when the film does come out. Now, of course, as I said earlier, on one side we do have the straight-on energy blast effect. This right here might be my least favorite of the energy effects. I mean, it still looks really cool under the right lighting and with the right pose, but it's a little bit more simplistic, kind of like the blasts that come with Captain Marvel. Whereas this right here, I'm all for it. I love that it conveys a sense of motion, how the discs would be spinning around towards the front. It looks nice and sharp, and I love the way it simply clicks around his forearm there, so it doesn't have any weird connections over a wrist peg or any portholes in the arm. Super simple, yet super effective. It looks like it's in motion. It's going to be great for figure photography. So yeah, these right here, the swooshing ones, are my personal favorite. Now, the pièce de résistance here, the Tony Leung head sculpt. I think this might just be one of Hot Toys' best likenesses to date. Now, I know, some people don't think it looks as good as I do. In fact, I've seen some people online saying, and I quote, looks nothing like him. I hope that people know out there in the community that it's not a 0 to 100 scale. It can be a 95% likeness. I would never say that this looks nothing like Tony Leung as Wenwu. I see the likeness here. I would personally give it a 95 to 100. I think it is that good, especially this prototype at Secret Base. Ryan's photos are showing this off in a much better way than the official photos, I personally think. I think the prototype was undersold in those promo images, whereas in person, I think it looks great. I see the likeness, but I am curious. Do let me know what you think of it down in the comments below, because I'm all on board. I think it looks like the actor. I know he's a very prominent celebrity in Hong Kong, so trust Hot Toys being a Hong Kong-based company to get this head sculpt right. If there are a couple of inconsistencies that people are pointing out over in Hong Kong, then I'm pretty sure Hot Toys will make those adjustments for the final sculpt. I mean, Just look at Professor Hulk. I never had an issue with that sculpt, but they did revise it, and the same thing can be said with Wanda. So I do believe they will make some adjustments if they feel it's necessary, because don't forget, this is a hand-sculpted piece. It's not digitally scanned based off the actor, so it does have a little bit of artistic representation and license here, but to me, it looks pretty much bang on. Now, if you are looking to pick up either of these two fantastic releases, they are up for pre-order right now with toyswonderland.com. Link for that is, of course, down in the description below, and they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. Also, while you're down there, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.